We'll try it. Try it again. Hey, chat's popping up on the computer side.
Nice.
Okay. Why is this stuff so complicated sometimes?
No, we're just old, dude.
I guess, man, that's crazy.
Not my chair squeaking. That's my knees.
Exactly. Oh
My
man.
spine.
Yeah. Okay, so we are live, and Zach says we are live now. Yes, and we have comments now. So awesome sauce. Okay. Well, today this is exactly how my morning went today. So we had reasonable weather on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It did rain some, but we had reasonable weather. And that meant that everyone and their sister decided to get their motorcycles out or try to get their motorcycles out that they parked in October. And most of them wouldn't start, or if they did start, they needed tires or batteries or whatever. So my phone rang off the hook all morning. Like I had at one point, I was on the phone with one person, and there were two other calls coming in. So I didn't get bupkis done this morning. So then Josh Hibner called me and told me that he was on his way home with my metal masher. So I decided to take the rest of the day off after lunchtime at about 2 o'clock. I left about 2 o'clock to go to Josh's house to pick up my metal masher.
I should have offered him money to bring it down to me.
Yeah.
So,
I am super stoked. I'm super happy, and this is on a patina leaf spring chassis. And then I had Metal Masher do the interior cage, bumpers, bed cage, all that stuff. So I'm stoked right now.
the cage work is clean. Oh,
It is very clean. Like all the braze joints are beautiful. It's all media blasted, and like the way he did like the bottoms, like where is it? Where the bed attaches to the chassis is like super clean. Same thing with like where the roll bar attaches inside the bed is all with little tabs that all bolt in. So that's super cool. It should be nice and easy to service. Which was always one of the things about these is that they get difficult to service when you have so much crap going on. So I'm super stoked about this. But I did already dent the fender flare.
God.
I stopped at the hobby shop and picked up another SCX10 Pro kit, and I put this on the passenger seat of my truck, and this was on the floor of my truck.
Oh my god!
And I have leather seats. So this slid off the seat, and it made contact with the fender.
You know, I'll take that dent over what could have happened. I'll take that.
Exactly. When I saw that box slide, I was like, no! Like I could have wrecked my truck. I should have wrecked my truck to save this one, but yeah, it was. I wasn't super stoked about that. But
maybe next time the box on the floor and the truck on the seat.
Yes. How do them shocks work on that chassis if they're laying almost flat in the rear? There are no shocks on it right now.
Oh no, they're talking about this. Pay no attention.
That's just Wesley.
No, I'm awaiting the proper rear shocks for this.
Yeah. Squints had messaged me. I see him in the chat here. Squints had messaged me and asked a customer had asked him if the Squints forward motor mount would fit the mullet chassis. And unfortunately, the answer is with the brackets that you have currently that fit the C1 Pro and the Pro V2, the answer is no. They are different. So you would need to Where are my calipers? Right here. Metric. You would need to shorten the brackets by about 23 millimeters because of how far forward the motor mount slots are on the mullet chassis versus the other ones. So unfortunately, that will not fit.
And to everybody's surprise, a forward motor mount on that is actually quite a feat.
It's very difficult to package a forward motor mount in a mullet chassis because the distance between here and the center of the skid is very short. So getting a prop shaft in there at a reasonable angle and getting a transfer case in there is very difficult. So
you'd want to check out TRD Adventures build. Tim kind of gave a specs on what kind of wedges and what he did.
Yeah.
But if you're really trying to get that forward motor mount on there, I would watch that.
Right.
He pretty much has done all the legwork for everybody on that one.
Yep.
But it is doable. It's just not
the
easiest platform.
It is doable, but it's only doable for people that are willing to hobby because it's not a bolt-in affair. Do you have skids and servo mounts ready to go? Skids are ready to go. Servo mounts, I think I saw the ship date is the 15th on those, so they are not far out. About another week on those, but that stuff's on its way. So I am building a full party with F10 straight axles and leaf springs, leaf under.
I would totally modify one of those to fit that metal masher, if that were possible, or an old metal masher.
I mean, realistically, they're virtually the same length. The shock hoop appears to fit under the hood. It would require different sliders, but luckily the cage work bolts to the sliders. So maybe.
Oh, maybe. Also, one thing was kind of eating me last week. Everyone was like, "What about link front, leaf rear?" Well, I still have all the provisions for links on the front of this.
Yeah, you can still run links on the full party.
You would just have this little shackle bracket that could be like kept for like a toe hook, or just cut that thing off. But totally doable on the full party. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. I think I like told like 3 or 4 people like, yeah, I'll design that, and I just got to thinking. I was like, everything.
You can just bolt it on. Yeah, you can just bolt it on. Oh man, Pilot Ryan Media, what's up? Hey Ryan, Ryan just sold me this. Pilot Ryan Media owns Hobbytown RC Fun Park in Granger. Jason is in here, also a local guy for me. TRD Adventures, Squints, Braden from Custom RC Crawlers. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we've got a bunch of people in here tonight. Happy about that. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people. So like I said, I'm building a full party. I need to print some leaf spring bushings for the bracketry, but I have all the brackets, and I started cutting a chassis before the stream, but I only got one rail out of the 2. Now, instead of waiting on you to send me one of those, I'll just 3D print my own.
It'd be an envelope the size of a stamp. It'd be just a stamp.
Yeah. Tim, I want a full party. Got F10 straights ready. They are on their way.
Also, Also, the F10 leaf spring uh, mounts should be here tomorrow. I'll just be working on those.
Cool. Get those all bent up and rocking and rolling.
It'll take a while,
Yep.
a night or two.
Yep.
I ordered a lot.
Yep. So I'm digging this. I'm gonna put one together just for funsies. I don't plan on comping it at all. I would just want to build one for fun. I'll probably take it to Axial Fest and play with it down there just to piss people off with leaf springs.
I think my next build is the hybrid. I like the flow of the front leaves and the rear leaves of the high-low. Looks cool.
I do not have one of those cut yet. I sent Tim the regular mullet one, and then I've cut myself this full party here, but those are the only ones I've built so far, or only ones I've cut so far. I got to figure out, I might actually order another set of F10 straights and put F10 straights under this instead of the AR-44s, purely because AR-44s are old now.
But it's so brassy and shiny.
It is pretty brassy. Even the leaf spring perches are brass. So, I don't know. I might just rock it, but if I do, I've got to order a ring and pinion and a set of gears for the front axle because I robbed those for something. Those might have gone in my Squints axles. I think that's what happened with those, is they went in my Squints axles. The rear one has a ring and pinion in it, but the front one does not.
Basically, roller.
Yeah, and when Blake was building this, he had a set of wheels and tires on it that he was building off of to make sure that everything cleared. So I know all that stuff clears. I'm probably going to order a set of the Class 0 BFG crawlers, or Class 0 BFGs. I'll probably order 3 sets of them so I can do a spare. I want to do a spare tire in the bed and a radiator and a chase light bar in the back.
Cool.
That way that kind of fills out the bed a little bit. I may do a fuel cell underneath the bed to kind of fill in that area underneath the bed too, so that when I roll it over, you can see that. I need to make inner fenders of some sort for the front to block off your view through the chassis because there's a whole lot of space under there. Tires will fill up some of it, but there's still going to be quite a big gap underneath there. Worked on real trucks today. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't like working on real trucks anymore. I just let my buddy do that. He owns a shop down the road, so I just tell him my truck needs fixed, and he comes and gets it.
Dang, you're at that level now.
I am. I don't even change the oil on my own truck anymore. I just tell him I'm taking his Jeep, and I tell him I'm dropping my truck off at your shop, and I'm taking your car or whatever he drove that day. His truck, his Jeep, whatever, and then he'll bring my truck back to me at lunchtime or after work or whatever. So it just works out. I got 6 of those tires if you want the crawlers. Tim, if you've got them, let me know. Send me a message.
6.
That makes it
6 pairs.
Yeah, knowing Tim, he probably has 6 pairs, but
6 pairs. Let me in on that action too.
yeah. But man, I'm so stoked. Like it turned out pretty good. The bed cage wasn't exactly what I wanted. It's not what I sent him, but it turned out good for what it is. The design that I had sent him, this bar that goes all the way down the back it like died off in the middle of the bed here, so it had a much steeper angle that went down to the top of the bed rail.
Sure.
And that's how I had it pictured, and that's what the image that I sent him. But then he sent me a picture with this, and I'm like, without this tube. So I was like, man, it looks like it's missing something. So I had him add that tube in there to kind of fill in that big wedge. And then once you get a spare tire in here, it fills up a lot of this,
Yeah.
big gap in the middle. So, and it's got little hooks on the back of it here. Kind of hard to get them in camera here. Little hooks in the back for like if you're winching, you can pendulum
Oh,
off the corners of the. There we go.
that thing
Pendulum
might
off the corners of
actually
the bedside.
that thing might actually save you a little bit on some damage too.
Well, this rear tube here is going to keep from smashing the taillights like I did on the last truck, and it'll keep the top corner of the bed from folding all the way in like I did on my last one too. So, and then there is a tube that runs all the way down inside the bed rail here that'll keep the whole fender from folding in too. You'll still crush the fender, the wheel well in,
Oh, we
or
know.
the flare in, but the actual top of the bedside it'll still crush, but it won't go all the way, fold all the way in like my last truck did.
Sure.
So, he also, the other thing that he did that I did not ask him to do, but I'm absolutely happy that he did, is that he hinged the hood, which I have not tried to open yet. The hood is hinged. And there's a magnet that holds it down.
It even sounds like I've been around those trucks enough to know the sound the hoods make when you shut them. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it nice little aluminum, or it's got a magnet glued into it for a hold down. Pretty cool.
It's pretty good.
So I'm super stoked. I can't wait to put it together. Realistically, I only have about 2 weeks to get this thing into a more finished roller to take with me to Axial Fest. It will not be driven at Axial Fest because it's going to go somewhere else to get paint work done. So I don't want to muff it all up at Axial Fest, but I absolutely want to take it with me. So I can have it on this. That's fine, but I'll just blow it off at that point. But I just don't want. The problem with taking aluminum trucks or metal trucks anywhere is that people always tap on the roof or the hood. They walk up and poke it like a fish tank. And
because they don't believe it when it's painted.
Yeah, so when it's raw, I'm gonna be super upset if somebody walks up and pokes this perfect roof.
Is that real aluminum?
Exactly. Bam. Oh, it does dent like real metal. So yeah, if somebody walks up and starts poking on it, I'm gonna be pretty upset. But after it's painted and weathered and stuff, that's a whole different story. But before that happens, I'd prefer it not to get any more damage than my whoopsie doodle on the fender here.
I mean, I guess you had to just get that out of the way.
I did. I had to dent it somehow. So
you put that on the floor and you drive home with like a bag of rocks on your seat or something.
Well, the thing about it is, it was when I drove home from Josh's house, it was in the backseat of the truck in a cardboard box with packing peanuts. And then I carried it inside the hobby shop and showed it to Ryan. And when I walked out to the truck, I put it on the driver or on the passenger side front floor instead of putting it back in the box in the back, which I should have done clearly. But yeah,
We'll just get some Honda. We'll putty it up.
I'll just have whoever's if Scale Builders Guild actually does end up wanting to do this for me, which I think he does. I'll just have him highlight that. Yeah, he just doesn't know it yet. He just hasn't agreed to it yet. He wants to do it. He just hasn't told me.
You've already made the shipping label.
Yeah. I'll just have him highlight that dent as like an actual dent. So, because it is an actual dent.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah.
Fake dents.
Fake dents. Yeah. Trying to compress Bilstein 5125 shock back into place. That sounds like a work for come along. Shoot at the regional office last week. Our instructor demo had the exact new TRD Pro I want. You should have just ordered one, Tim. Metal Masher is the man. Absolutely, he is. Again, I'll say it again this week. We've said it the last 2 weeks, but if you're watching this video after the live stream, I still haven't figured out how to make the live chat replay through the app. So sorry, I'll try to read the questions before I answer them. That way you know what's going on. But kind of is what it is. So for people that I'm sure are interested and I'm sure will ask, mullets will be back in stock later this week.
Probably Wednesday. I should be getting them tomorrow, and then I gotta go through everything within spec.
Okay.
But hopefully Wednesday.
Okay.
I might just wait for like a Friday drop, unless everyone's seriously chomping at the bit for them. But
yeah, I know we've had a bazillion emails and comments about them, so they're probably going to go quick again this batch. So, but yeah, probably Friday they'll be back on the site then. And then you want to do high lows next week?
Yeah. Yep. I can get everything ready and get that. That'll be the next.
Okay. So this is one of the new high lows. No, this is an old high low. This is the new high. This is the new. This is the new high low. My bad, dog. This is the new high low. About a 10 millimeter difference in belly height. 8 millimeter difference in belly height. A little bit in length. And then link geometry is very similar. You can use the same link sets that are available currently. And all of the accessory stuff, which we'll probably release at the same time as the chassis as far as the electronics pieces go. High lows this week so I can get swapped over before ECC.
Ooh.
Can you even run those? Can you even run those at ECC with their silly rules?
That's like circa 2017 or whatever they're running.
Yeah, circa 2001 that ECC's running.
Rectangle.
Got my Oracle chassis today. Time to start building. That's what this SCX10 Pro kit is for, is an Oracle. So I had built one with an Oracle, obviously, because I did all the testing and everything with it, and then I swapped it over to a pace setter. But I want to build another truck very similar to this one, so that when I go to places like Axial Fest or Crawlapalooza or anywhere else that I end up going this year, that I can have two trucks built with similar stuff so that people can drive them back to back. They'll both be on separate radios. They'll both have, separate batteries and all that crap, so people can literally drive them back to back.
Yeah.
That's the plan with those anyway.
I think I'm going to have this one on a different remote for people to drive.
Yeah.
Share the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Skids, I think I got everybody squared away that had a bad skid. I think I got all that. I went through all the orders from the week prior, and reshipped skids to all those people. So hopefully that's all squared away. Share the fun, accept the leaf springs. I'm sending you this full party leaf spring truck when it's done. Make you drive it at Rocky Mountain Regionals Class 3. I made sure when I ordered my set of F10 straight axles, I made a note in the order to tell Josh that these were getting leaf springs. I don't think anybody told him, but I made sure to send him a picture of them with leaf springs under them, just to poke the bear a little bit.
Scoping out the frame he made, I made a similar one, but I integrated leaf spring mounts in it for the Porsche.
Yeah, I'm gonna build a replica of his Porsche with leaf springs, just for the shit of it.
I'm gonna make the fenders out of old leaf springs, I think.
Wrap the headlight buckets in old leaf springs. Make the top of the roll cage out of leaf springs, so when you roll it over, it bounces back.
Same arc. It's the same arc throughout the whole body. It's just leaf springs piled up on one another.
Yeah, all the way to the top of the body. Yep.
It
Uh,
it rolls over and bounces back onto the wheels.
oh man, I'm surprised you didn't send him one already. No, I shipped him a high-low, so he will. That way he can build a chopra. So,
Ooh, there we
what
go.
if the Leafs are forged carbon?
He might be on
I
board
mean,
with that one.
yeah, he might be on board with that. It would be similar to the CBE 3D printed leaf springs. Should do Josh's favorite portal rear and straight front. My problem is that I don't like that setup. That's Wesley's thing.
I like building. I'll build literally anything that makes Brett mad. So
I'm surprised it doesn't have a 3-gear transmission in it.
I might be that might be a phase I'm out of nowadays.
It's just old enough now that you decided not to
Just
do it.
old enough, yeah.
3-gear transmissions are old, not a date, but you'll still leaf spring everything. So, oh well. No, I'm happy. I'm excited to build this truck and get to play with it. And then this is also going to be all leaf springs. So that's 2 leaf spring trucks is plenty. I don't need a third one though.
You should get the custom springs made for that thing. How much is that thing gonna weigh? Is it gonna be like sub 5 pounds?
I don't know. I can weigh this real quick. It doesn't weigh shit right now. Even it's got all this brass shit on the front of it, and it still doesn't weigh anything. Let me grab my scale and weigh this thing real quick.
The girl's gonna be pretty bouncy.
Let's see. What can I put on top of this? Here. Pounds. Let's go with pounds.
Is that
It
the
weighs.
European currency?
Yeah. It weighs 3.2 pounds right now. So that's. It doesn't. It's not that heavy.
Gotta be sub 5 pound. That's pretty good with that cage.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of cage work. That's going to be what's the heaviest part of it. But I'm going to say it'll probably be 6 pounds RTR after putting a trans and drive shafts and electronics and whatnot in it. So, but they don't, metal masher bodies don't weigh anything, and that's with a steel chassis too. That's a patinaed steel
Yeah, I was
chassis
gonna
as well.
say that's that. That's that like bullet, like body vest steel.
Yeah, it's the AR plate. So, Josh Chafin's in tonight. What's up, guys? Metric pounds. No, this is American pounds.
American pounds.
Yeah. American pounds. You know what? I'm going to put this down because I'm going to end up dropping it, and it's going to be real bad news bears.
Roll off the fingers.
Yeah.
We're all going to
like
witness it. This will be the viral video that makes this channel.
I would start crying and end the stream. Yep. You know what I might do now that I'm sitting here thinking about this? Full party Bronco.
Because you haven't put that on the site, have you?
No, I have not. Ah, it's too long. I'm going to have to cut myself a custom one. Too long.
Hey, good thing you know a guy.
I need to shorten it by about 20 millimeters.
Oh, that's not that much.
It's not too bad. You can push it in there, but it pushes out on the tailgate.
Push it.
Yeah. You drop it, we'd all cry. I hope so. Drop it, it's more work for Matt. No, I don't wanna.
Pour my drink out.
He probably wouldn't do it then. He's going, no, it's already damaged. You're on your own. I'm already not sure how to get it to Canada without getting it jammed up or ruined. I'll have to build a wood crate for it or something to.
Maybe a worthwhile investment.
Yeah. hire some drug smugglers to take it across the lake and drop it off to him at the
What if
port.
I said this will be 100% legal?
Yeah,
You're not breaking the law in any way.
not even a little bit. Pelican box. Yeah, I could do a pelican box with foam. That probably isn't a bad it'd either, but it'd be a big pelican box.
Worth it.
Yeah. Tell
That'd
Matt
be
to
how
come down
you
for
permanently
Badlands.
transport that thing.
It could be. I could just build a permanent box for it. That way, that's where it goes to go to events and stuff.
Unbolt the wheels and tires and
Yeah, stuff the wheels and tires in the foam underneath it, and then put it in the box. Hoping to get an interior in all of my classes, but I'm really hoping to get one of my C2, get my C3 Ford motor mount like C2. Yeah, interiors should be in everything, and then Ford motor mounts also in everything.
yeah.
Take it to Colorado and have Matt take it back. I mean, but he's flying. If Matt was driving to Colorado, that would be a whole different story. But he's flying to Colorado.
They're gonna be throwing that thing on a plane.
Yeah. No,
Nice.
not interested. Yeah. Yeah, Harbor Freight does have the knockoff Pelican cases.
Some of
I
them,
might look.
at least around here, they're not like that greatly priced. I don't think.
They were decent. My problem is I don't know that they have one big enough. I don't want like the rifle-sized Pelican case either. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is bigger than like the standard little normal Pelican case. Yeah. I've been talking to Matt about him getting the Comanche back, but I'm scared to ship that to him. Well, he shipped it out of Canada, so at least that isn't like. I mean, this isn't fragile, but like it's easily damaged. Like it's easy to dent. So if and you can't repair it, it's not like you can styrene glue it back together. Is what I mean by that. So yeah. Like I said, if he was driving to Colorado, that would be a whole different story. Because if he was driving to Colorado, he would have to drive right past me, like literally right past me. He would go 2 miles from my shop, so it
He's
would be
got
very
20-inch
easy.
wheels now.
He does have 20-inch wheels now on his.
I figured he'd want to drive that thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to drive that from Canada to Colorado. I don't even want to drive from Indiana to Colorado. So. Yeah. Metal will move a lot easier than a hard body. Absolutely. It will it'll crush. Well, with the cage and everything, Blake did a really good job with the cage, but it will still get damaged. So I'm just super happy to have it back. It's been a handful of months since I shipped this to him, and I'm just glad to have it back. I told Matt that as long as I had it, that if we make this happen, I would wait till after Axial Fest Badlands to ship it, and then as long as I had it back before Axial Fest next year, it is what it is. So
I've seen what he can build in 30 days.
yeah, I've seen what he can build in 24 hours. I figure if I give him like 11 months, we should be golden. So 11 metalmasher bodies too pretty to dent. No, they're not too pretty to dent. I love denting them. I should have grabbed my other one off the shelf at home. My blue truck is on a shelf in my bedroom with all the awards that it's won, from show and shines to comp courses and things like that. So it has been relegated to bedroom art. So I should have grabbed it to bring it, but I've got my Bronco, which is nicely dented up as well. The first dent is the hardest, and it sucks way more if you dent it before you paint it than after you paint it.
Sucks if you dent it on the way home from picking it up.
Yes. Thought you were gonna put it down and leave it alone. I was, but it's so cool. I should put it on the shelf over there so it's out of my reach of my grubby little fingers. But I like it so much.
Right now is the nicest it's ever gonna be.
Mhm. Yep.
It's a sad thought.
So do I upgrade the kiddos high-low or build one for myself? I would say build one for yourself and let the kiddo suffer with his old high-low.
Yeah.
Let him earn the new one, which he has, but make him earn it again. Are you kidding me? You're the one that bought it. One that bought what? I've had this. If you're talking about the truck that he posted that he had for sale at Beat the Creek, that is not this truck. This is a different truck than that one. Harbor Freight has Apache carry-on size cases for $99. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I bet the kiddo would drive it better. Yes, I bet he would drive it better than Tim would. Tim's kid is a good driver, man. I've seen him on course. He does make some smart moves. 814 RC crawlers. Yes, it is right here. It does have one hole in it that's blemished. He and I were talking about this on in PMs. There's one hole that's circled in silver Sharpie there that got away from me with the tap, but otherwise it is 100% functional, and that's on the winch side. So I'll message you after this and get you squared away on that. That's my one blemish one that I muffed up. But otherwise, I was trying to get it, but by the time I met up, he'd already sold it. Yeah, that wasn't this truck. This truck, I bought this body from him in 2018, and I sent the body back to him on this chassis a couple of months ago, probably 3 or 4 months ago, and had him do all the cage work for me. So this is not that truck that you were thinking of, but that was a very good deal also. He had another Yoda body with the cage and bumpers on a 10.2 chassis that he posted up for $700 or something like that. That was a pretty good deal. I have more than that in this one. So it looks great. I agree. I love it. And I really need to stop holding it, but I really like it. It's like a new baby. You just can't put it down. So that's what it is. I need to, I'm going to put this over there because I don't want to, I'll end up dropping it otherwise.
As long as it's live and we all get to share the experience.
No, thank you. So I guess instead, to keep my hands busy, I will open up this SCX10 Pro Kit. Keep my hands doing something. Got the receipt. I paid for it. I can't wait till we get cool enough to where people send us stuff. If that ever happens.
If I keep making leaf spring stuff, we'll never get to that level.
Yeah.
Harley will. No.
Yeah, he'll start calling people, telling them no.
Hey, absolutely not. Stop.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about the truck you got in front of you? Talk about those fancy sliders and talk about that stuff for a little bit.
So I got a little ahead of myself this weekend. I kind of got some opinions from some team drivers. I experimented with these aluminum sliders. They're lightweight. They still slide good over rocks. These ones, however, they match the angle of the belly, so they're not SORP illegal. But where I'm at, there's no like Sorka event, so I just kind of trail around and find the limits, I guess. So it works for me. So what I went ahead and did was this is still like kind of a prototype, but it's very similar to the production Kylo we're about to release. Um, what I went and did was I did a batch of slanted sliders like these, and then I made some flat ones as well. So my goal with that is to have kind of like a soft release of them. See if anybody's interested in them. I hand brake all these bends on a mini brake, so I'm gonna try and get them all very uniform. But I'm gonna see how this batch works out. Um, if I like them and they're good enough to sell to the public, so be it. But if they're not exactly perfect, maybe I'll put them up for cheap. But
Put them in the
they're
garage
normally
sale section.
do what?
Put them in the
Yeah,
garage sale section.
yeah. Along with another batch of stuff that didn't quite meet standards.
Yeah.
I'll talk about later on.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer on that, but yeah,
Exactly.
I'll get these up. I'll kind of go into more detail about the servo winch mount on the side. Ideally meant for servo winch mount where the spool comes out the center and goes up. The little plate here, the little mount, I don't know if you can see, but it has a little hole in the center. That'd be kind of where your winch line would feed out. Should work for most. I actually use it as a body post. The body I use hinges down, and that's how I just screw it in. It's not really the right
Just
hinge.
run a screw through the front.
But yeah.
Harley says if we keep making leaf spring stuff, they'll only send stuff by a telegram.
Telegram. I like carrier pigeon myself.
Yeah, carrier pigeons work a little better. They eat less.
A little bird seed on the patio. They come right. Even other people's mail comes to my house.
Tim TRD. I think I've got a couple of people switched over to with the Oracle and Pace Setter. I have seen quite a few posts recently in the SCX10 Pro owners group that I think we've seen quite a few purchases come through from people that were commenting. So that is much appreciated to get those people coming this way. Team Garage Hack, good evening, fellow nerds. What's going on out there in Colorado? Hope you guys are having a good evening out there.
You know they are.
Yeah, they're always a good time out there. I've seen Mikey's wife Christina is in Nashville, so I'm sure they are struggling without her. She's a good time too. Ready to build a C1 Leaf chassis super scale. We need to do some sort of a C1 Leaf chassis. Our C1 Pro sliders coming back in stock, or did I miss them? You have not missed them. They will be in, I assume, next week. I think I saw the date was the 15th or something like that.
Yeah, they're ordered.
Yeah. Break is over. Off to film the news later, guys. See you, Josh. We will watch Scale News in the morning, man. Appreciate you. Mounting a winch to my Pace Setter /Pro tonight. I'm sorry, right now. Cool. Chris, Lucy, and I are in the backyard digging up river rocks. They got to go. I agree. I hate hitting rocks with the mower. That's not a good time. But you have a nice rock picker with you, so I know my kid likes picking rocks, so it makes it easier. I have a sealed Phoenix kit about to have the axles robbed for my mullet. There you go. Portal axles are straight on that.
On this here?
No, on the in the comments. I know what you run both.
Well, to be fair, this is the first one that
To be fair.
This is the first mullet axle truck. Actually, I like the amount of overdrive.
Yeah,
It was
I
kind of fun
was.
hogging out this rear end, the dremeling it out.
Oh yeah, because you
I'd
had to
do it
do the
again.
opposite.
Yeah, I'd do it again. I almost thought about buying like 4 F10 rears and just throwing them on the site, but
Pre-cut.
yeah, just pre-drill them. I was kind of testing that. Like I just I, like I was saying, I didn't know what the amount of overdrive was going to be, so I bought like a cheap set of reverse AR-44 cut gears. They
Yeah.
seem to be working. They're quiet, but
For now.
the truck doesn't weigh anything.
Right.
4 and some change, maybe less. I haven't really my I haven't really weighed it.
Yeah.
All my other stuff's like 8 to 10 pound hard body truck, so this thing is
Right.
abnormally light for me.
What trans are you in that?
It's the what was it, the Deluxe EOD? Shout out to Martin because I think I was in his DMs late at night because I was sweating like what orientation because they give you a left or right motor option.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was very adamant. I wanted the servo and motor on the same side, so I have a clear shot with the drive shaft to the front axle.
Yeah.
Because that was the issue I ran into with the Jelly Bean is that the too low is center output in the front, so it gets into my servo mount slightly.
Yep.
But and it
Yeah,
looks
that's what.
wonky. Looks a little wonky, but it doesn't bind up or anything. So I haven't messed with it at all. There's actually a wear mark on the drive shaft from where it touches.
Yeah, with the behind the axle steering, it's pretty snug getting everything in there.
Yeah, but with this 1/10 servo mount, it's about as low as I'd want to have it, and it's it's well thought out mount.
Yep, I agree. Gary did a good job on that servo mount. It's a solid axle, Phoenix. That's what you're gonna rob parts for your mullet for. I approve.
No one pay attention to this shock. Gonna put a
Hi, hi from Santa Fe. What is going on?
there you go.
Much appreciated for checking in on us. I am assembling gears, spool and locker for the axles of the SCX10 Pro kit right now. I figured I can do that while I read comments and talk. Any idea on the overdrive with the F10 portal rear setup? I don't recall specifically what it is, but Harley had a video where he talked about it and said what it was.
I believe he chimed in last time I talked about it, and it was like 30 to 33%.
Yeah, something along that line.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
As much as it pains your ears.
So coming out with some shocks? No, not coming out with shocks at all. It just has some.
This isn't my best work, so
Yeah.
stop.
It
Someone
just
was
has some random.
Yeah, no, it's kind of rare. Actually, me and my friend Jonathan, we tore these apart and put like the smallest shafts on there too to shorten up. But
So you
just
and
long
Jonathan were playing with shafts at night
in his like shed. Yeah,
in his shed. Perfect.
the pool shed. Yep.
Oh man,
But
that's
all
funny.
I had was these long body big bores. So
Yeah. Okay, so trying to remember how these axles go. I think
At least you're not building the
That goes.
transmission again. Are you building that? Are you gonna build that live again?
No. Nope, I'm not building transmission live. Not happening. I will be missing parts and shit if I try to do that, for sure.
Would you believe I get about 40 minutes of runtime out of this 850?
Absolutely, because I get quite a bit of time out of my 450s. So that doesn't surprise me much. People always ask, or every time I see people wanting like 3,500 batteries for comps, I'm like, why? Why would you do that to yourself?
I think for crawl tools, I'm gonna run like a 450. I think that'll
that's all. I run 480s. So
and that thing charges in like 15 minutes. It's
yeah,
pretty quick.
they don't take long at all, and I take enough batteries with me to not have to worry about. I just swap a battery every run.
Yeah, even these tattoo batteries are what, like $12 a pop.
Yeah, they're not. It's not expensive. I run the GeForce 4S's from ValueHobby.com, and I don't have any issues with those either. Are you using any of the brass hop-ups for the SCX10 Pro? No, I'm not. Not for any particular reason, but I just am not. I don't typically run any extra weights or anything like that, so
Kind of the same deal here.
Yeah. I prefer to move the weight around before adding weight. Running 650s, but I want to get some 450s. I use the tattoo also. Yeah, the tattoo line batteries are great.
If you hear jingling, it's not Santa Claus, it's my dog. Come here.
Oh, so
Take your collar
I told you guys the dog story last week. So here is my story from Thursday. So for about 6 weeks now, I've been on the hunt for a specific set of exhaust, a specific set of camshafts, and a specific power commander for a Victory motorcycle. Now, Victory motorcycles I've worked on for a long time. I was Victory certified for a while, and I love the bikes. They're fantastic bikes. But Victory was owned by Polaris. Polaris bought Indian, and when Polaris bought Indian, they basically shut down Victory in 2017. So this particular motorcycle is a 2011, and the brand got discontinued in 2017, meaning all the parts and accessories for it also got discontinued in 2017. So I searched high and low to find these parts. So throughout the entire process, the customer, I don't want to say was impatient, but like he called me an awful lot, wanting to know. He just wanted to be kept in the loop and wanting to know what's going on. But like, it was also kind of like, man, that this stuff doesn't exist anymore, right? So I tracked down all this stuff from multiple sources around the U.S. and I finally get everything in. And he brings the bike in and he drops it off with the intention to pick it up 5 days later. He was supposed to pick it up this past Friday. And Thursday, I was working on the bike. And as I was finishing it up, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to come pick that up today if possible." I said, "Well, yeah, give me, half an hour or so to finish this up and I will, I'll have it ready for you." He's like, "All right, cool." So he comes up to pick it up and he tells me he's just going to leave his pickup truck in my parking lot and come back. He's going to go home, get his wife, and ride the bike back up here with his wife to pick up his truck. Not a problem. Truck's fine in my parking lot. I don't have an issue with that. and it was going to be after I closed anyway. By the time he got home and got back here to get his truck. Yeah, not a problem. Bikes or truck's fine out there. I've got cameras aimed right at where his truck's parked or whatever. So the next morning, I wake up to a text message with a handful of text message pictures from him, of him laying in a hospital bed in a neck brace, and the bike wadded up on the side of the road. He T-boned a car. He got home, picked up his wife, and coming back to get his truck, a girl pulled out in front of him and he hit her, T-boned her right in the driver's side of the car, and probably totaled the bike. So did all this work, and he had it for an hour and a half, and totaled it. So I'm like, that's karma, man. You should have just been patient. Like, if you would have came to pick it up when we talked about him picking it up, he wouldn't even have been in that intersection at that time. But he was just being impatient, like he had been the whole time. Like, I feel bad about it. It definitely sucks because obviously I don't want that to happen to a customer. But at the same time, it's like, man, should have just waited. And none of this stuff is really replaceable either. Like, you can't. I did get paid already. Yeah, he paid. I make people pay before they take them. But I searched for months to find this stuff, and for it to just be gone, in an instant, it's just like, really. Feel bad, but at the same time, I didn't wreck it, so I can't really feel that bad about it. Locksmith here had a customer like that today, real estate agent. Yeah, well, real estate agents are always in a hurry for everything. You're supposed to drop everything you're doing and do that right now. If somebody's locked out of something, they can't. Yeah. Yeah, man, it sucks because I guess the bike's just not, even if the bike is not totaled dollar wise, it's not repairable because the parts are all discontinued for it. So you can't get front forks or a front fender or engine guard or the saddlebag rails. Like, you can't get any of that stuff for the bike anymore. So even if the insurance company doesn't total it, he'll have a check in his hand and a wrecked bike in his garage because the insurance company is not liable to put the bike back together. The insurance company is liable to pay for the value of putting the bike back to pre-accident condition. They don't care whether the parts are available or not. It's not their responsibility. So if it's wrecked and not totaled, he'll get a check and can't fix the bike.
It's a bummer. What's up, Colin?
Yeah. Dropping in for a minute to eat some dinner and back to work. Nice.
Colin, when you got some pictures to send me, bud, with like this frame, but like a little longer.
I saw the other one. Today too. When I was at Hibner's house. Everything looks good except the chassis needs to be a little bit shorter, and he's gonna message you and tell you that because the body hinge stuff doesn't work because the chassis is too long.
Okay.
For the factory UMG body.
Okay. Wait, do they even still make those?
No, Axial hasn't made a 6x6 in like 2 or 3 years now. So yeah, need help finding a pass-through diff cover for what axle, Colin?
Is it the 44s? What's he
got? AR60 need an AR44 pass-through.
I have two more AR60 ones you can have. They can sit in the box.
I think there are AR44 pass-throughs on Shapeways. Not that I really suggest something like that, but I can't remember if you're supposed to put bearings in the end of the housing on these or not. And you can't see them.
You're just the rebel not reading instructions.
Yeah, I could easily open the instruction bag and find out for myself before I do this wrong, but I think I'm just gonna do it wrong and have to tear it back apart if I'm wrong. I'll just have to be okay with it.
We run what not to do live streams.
Yes. Yeah. Won a cash comp this week at round one with my Sorka truck and another with my new Pro. Sweet.
Nice.
Taking money home is always nice.
Good driving, dude.
Absolutely. The axial ones are discontinued. Yes, the axial passers have been discontinued for a while because they discontinued the UMG 6x6 a long time ago.
I think the whole axle, right?
Yeah, I think so. Did I just do that? Fuck, I did too. Damn it. Put the right side C-hub on the left side and the left side C-hub on the right.
It's gonna be wobbly no matter what, though.
After you've run it a couple of times, yeah. Will turn into a horseshoe. I wish that the C-hubs were clockable on these new axles. They're not. They're fixed in position.
Are they similar to the F10's caster?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty. You have plenty of caster, but like I like the adjustability of clockable C-hubs. Yeah. Yep. So when's the high-low 6x6 coming? Paul, that might have been what Wesley was talking about, but I'm not going to say yes or no. Damn it. I just put the C-hub on and I didn't put the bearing in. Slow down.
Because you're multitasking.
Yeah. It's because I tried to read comments. That was my problem. I don't even, like I said, I don't even remember if you're supposed to put a bearing in there or not, but I'm going to put it in there. Find out later if I was wrong. When I'm missing two bearings and can't finish the rear axle, I have to take the front and back apart. That's the way it is. Okay. Still spins.
Good sign.
Yep. Nice. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to put this together with a pace setter chassis. That way I have a pace, or with an Oracle chassis. That way I have a pace setter and an Oracle.
Drive them back to back.
Yep. That is the plan. Just wearing in them threads exactly. That's all it is. I didn't make a mistake. I was just, making sure the threads were good in the axle housing. That bearing's not seated in there all the way. Plastic. Oy. Oy. Come on. There we go.
You did stuff with your hammer now?
Hit it with my hammer. I think that's the right side. Should be. What's up, dude? Hibby hooked me up with an extra cab Mojave at Beat the Creek, and my mullet build is officially starting this week. Nice to see you in here, Harley. I'm glad you got to meet Hibby and Lucas and Jake. I wish I could have made it down there to Beat the Creek, but I will absolutely make it a must-do event next year. It'll be on my schedule early in the year, so I don't have anything else planned that weekend. I do need to get down to Kentucky to 23RC and visit all those guys down there. I think we got four team drivers to go to 23RC, so I need to get down there and do some running with those guys.
We have a pretty awesome group of Kentucky dudes.
We do. Found a pass-through cover for enduro axles might be the way to go. I don't know about that. You got kids playing in the background over there?
Man, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm like the Pope over here. I come off the balcony and wave, say my hellos. Everyone scurries away.
Get off my damn lawn!
It's the dog that attracts them. They just he just looks over from the balcony at them and just stares, and they're like,
Yeah.
But actually, no, it's the ghosts. That's what I fall asleep to. It's just ghost sounds of ghost children.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him the first day, parked right beside each other. Nice. Hibby's a good dude. I like Josh a lot. I'm glad he was able to pick up my metal masher for me and bring it home because, again, I wasn't super stoked on shipping it from, where's metal masher? Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Wasn't super stoked on shipping it from there to here again, but it made the journey when I bought it from him originally, and it made the journey back to him when I sent it back for the body work. So I guess it probably would have made it just fine again, but just prefer not to take the risk if I don't have to.
I feel like I'm going to be researching Pelican boxes for you tonight because
Yeah,
it's going to make me nervous thinking about that thing.
I'm gonna get on Harbor Freight's website as soon as I get off the live stream and try to see. There's a Harbor Freight like 2 minutes down the road, so there are some good people out there, but I'm too much of a pothead to go to those states anymore. Yeah, if that's your thing, it's some states are not friendly. That's not my thing. I don't partake personally, but I don't discriminate against people who do. Hibby does, so I like him some days.
Sometimes.
There's always edibles if you can't smoke, so you gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose, sometimes. I do only live about 5 minutes from Michigan, which is legal in Michigan, and there's a pot shop like 2 minutes across the border. I almost feel like that is a trap. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
the Indiana State Police could sit on the Indiana side and damn near see the pot shop from there. So it's like,
Yeah.
just have somebody sitting in the parking lot and read off Indiana plate numbers, and as you come back across the border, they snag you up or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'd be considered entrapment or not, but
I'm in Central Texas, so it's like 7, 8 hours to get out of the state. So
yeah,
here it is.
yeah, cops poaching potheads. Like I said, it just seems like with the pot shops that close to the state line, one state's legal, one state's not. It just seems like it would be one of those easy situations to snag some people up on some dumb shit.
I remember they used to watch people like on Sundays for alcohol.
Yeah, they used to snag people up buying beer in Michigan too, but
Not quite as of an offense though.
yeah, no difference to hanging by the bar at 2 a.m. Yeah, that's the same thing too. So there was actually a shooting right down the road from my house the other night. There's a bar about 5 minutes down the road, about the same distance opposite as coming to my shop. There were 3 people shot on. Well, it would have been Saturday morning, about 2 a.m. Saturday morning. So that was cool. Thought of possibly going to jail as a no-go. Yeah, I'm just not super interested in going to jail. Not even a little bit. Yep. Steve D, I'm in Michigan. Yeah, I'm in South Bend, Indiana area, so right along the border. Not too far away from the border anyway. Living in San Diego for a little over a year, it's still weird buying edibles and pens. Yeah, like I said, it's just not my thing.
I have too
I
many
could see.
expensive hobbies.
Yeah, I already spend enough money on other shit. I don't need another expensive hobby.
Yeah.
At this point, I think cocaine would be cheaper than RC cars. So
with your truckload of stuff you brought home tonight, I'd probably agree.
yeah, what I've shown here on the screen tonight's well over $1,000. Almost probably 2 grand. Just a whole lot of cocaine. Hookers and blow. Um, Mullet sold very fast. You happy about that?
Yeah, actually, slightly overwhelmed packaging for that extended period of time, but I got it done in I think a orderly fashion. Um, yeah, no, I'm excited for the next batch. I know there was quite a few people that kind of missed out, so I'm always like hyped up to like kind of give that heads up, like, all right, now's your second chance.
Yeah,
Because usually with like the first go around, the people that have bought from our like batch or product releases, they have the system figured out. Like all these orders come in. Like my time, it was a 5 o'clock launch. Um, all the orders were within like 2 minutes. So like they had everything ready to click yes.
yeah.
So
And I had
not
to. The scheduling thing wasn't working. I couldn't get the page to schedule on the website. So
mhm.
I set an alarm on my phone to where I had like 2 minutes and I had to get on and make the I made the leaf springs live first. Well, I made the dual servo mounts live first, then the leaf springs, then I made the chassis live right at the specified time
Yeah.
so that everybody could get everything they needed. Hopefully get
So
everything they needed.
we do have some dedicated customers. That's cool to see, but it
Yeah.
is kind of a bummer because right away you get the people like, "Oh, missed out," or misselected, or the typical. But
Yeah.
hopefully this Friday, this will be your second second shot at getting in on the build. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to get like some feedback. I assume there's because this isn't like the easiest thing to throw together. But if you like building, this is gonna be right up your alley.
Yeah. Don't start talking about what we spend on RCs. My wife might hear. Just tell her that I'm the exception to the rule and I spend exorbitantly more money than you do. Not that much coke, lol. It should be plenty for a day or two. Uh,
I wouldn't
I was
even entertain that. I know
I don't even know how much 3 grand worth of cocaine is, but I
anybody's
was
gonna
sitting at the
instantly know these
computer.
guys are phonies.
Yeah,
They
I was
don't
sitting at
know
the
what they're
computer on
talking.
the chassis tab of the page, constantly refreshing the page with all the other parts I needed sitting in my cart. Well, I'm the reason you had to keep hitting refresh because damn it, I put that freaking link mount on upside down. Because I was having to refresh all my stuff too. If any of y'all know Mike Molt, just know he's still alive. Heard from him earlier today. Really, I haven't heard from Mike Molt in a couple of
Mike
years.
Mole.
It's probably been,
He's a good dude. He's a good guy to hang out with at Crawlapalooza.
yeah,
I
about
remember
three
that.
ounces. 3 ounces Hawaiian price or 3 ounces in the U.S.
Gonna get flagged for too much.
Yeah,
Product.
I selected not for kids. So
We're talking about wheel weights, people.
yes, 3 ounces of wheel weight is not enough. Not enough wheel weights. Shouldn't have put that on yet either. Oh well.
Are you guys going to ECC? I wasn't really planning on it.
Nope, my trucks are not legal for ECC. If they would have ran 2023 rules, I absolutely would have been there. I love the terrain. I love the guys that are hosting the event, but they decided to run 2022 rules, which just isn't. It doesn't seem acceptable to me to run 2022 rules when you've had 6 months to get your trucks rebuilt to meet the 2023 rules.
I wouldn't
The
even say
last
rebuilt.
the last revision of the 2023 rules was December 6th. It's May 8th, and you still have another 10 days before the event. It just seems kind of silly to me to run 2022 rules at that point. You can't get it figured out in 6 months. You shouldn't figure it out at all, I guess, is my opinion. And I understand that there are places that their winter series has just ended as well, but I don't think that's the majority of people. Hawaii prices, yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured. Hope I can get in on the next batch of mullets. I only cried for a minute when I missed the first batch. Well, if you weren't on the site at 6 o'clock Eastern time, you missed them.
Yeah, they're going, gone.
Yeah, still a lot of pushback on 23 rules. I don't understand why. Like, again, they've been out for 6 months. They told us in 2022 when they released the 2022 rules. They told us that 2023 rules were going to be a major change. They released the rules in October of 2022. Then they revised them in December of 2022, and now it's May of 23. You should have been able to get it figured out. How do you guys find comps to go to? Just Facebook groups, really. There's comps that we've been going to every year for years that we don't miss, like Crawlapalooza and other events that we really like going to as well. Darwin, night all. Got to get up in 7 hours. See you later. Thanks for checking in with us while we just kind of sit around and bullshit for 2 hours at a time.
Yeah. Sometimes productive, sometimes just messing around.
Yeah. I got both the SCX10 Pro axles built, so that's a plus. I don't know what the next step was. If it's shocks, I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on.
You don't want to see me struggle with E-clips on live, I promise. Yep, shocks is bag B, so that's not happening. Transmissions bag C, that's not happening. Bag D's links, that's not happening. Yeah, I think axles are all I'm doing tonight. The trans, I'm not assembling the trans because I want to do something different with the trans. There's one local. Is there one local in Michigan? Michigan comps, you have Great Lakes Gauntlet. You have Reaction Hobbies in Grand Rapids has comps. Those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. The D bag, yeah, I can do the D bag. I don't even remember what that one is. Maybe drive shafts.
I was waiting for Brett to say that one out loud.
We do comps in Idaho. Hey, you did make it in here to talk about Idaho. That's another place I would like to get out to is Idaho. Some great scenery out there in places.
I got some places marked on Google Maps that I need to hit up out there. Most of that stuff's in the big truck, though.
Yep. I honestly prefer the 23 rules. They're easy to visualize with diagrams. I guess I wasn't in the gray area enough for 22 rules. Had to change sliders on C1. C2 and C3 were both fine. My C1, I would have had to change the sliders if I were running sliders for points. My front bumper had to get wider, and I changed the chassis to carbon fiber for 23 rules. So to go backwards now, I'd have to change the chassis back. Link mullet on the way so I can make forward motor mount. Time to make some pork chops. Have a good night, guys. Squints, thanks for checking in. I had pork chop roast thing last night for dinner. It was pretty good. Teriyaki flavored pork roast. Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Michigan Crawler Space RC has comps weekly. Backyard Crawlers is a comp series now. Okay, so there is more in Michigan. Well, Steve, you're in Michigan, so it would make sense that you know more about that than I do. Speaking of 23 rules, I read through them and found out 6x6 are legal to run. Found that neat. 6x6s have never been banned. You actually get more scale points for that. You get multiple driven axle points.
Who wants a leaf spring 6x6 frame?
Yeah, run leaf spring 6x6 in class 2.
I can hear. Josh just got this nervous twitch all of a sudden.
He's not even listening. His ear just started buzzing. Should I run? Should I try to put CMS or axle mounted servo on this Pacesetter / Oracle build so that one of them is CMS, one of them is axle mounted servo, or should I leave them both CMS so that they are more comparable?
That's a tough one. The more comparable would be cooler, but if they're like pretty similar, like might not be so easily noticeable.
Yeah, I need to. Maybe I'll post up in the Brazen fan page and see what motor people are the most confused about whether it'll fit or not, and I should probably order one.
It's usually
make sure it fits.
all-in-one combos.
Yeah, it usually is like the Fusion. I think the Fusion Pro is what people have been asking about, but leaf spring chassis is it class 2 build? I mean, you could run it in class 2. They're not class 1 legal because of the angled skid, but you could run them in class 2, but they're really more of just like a have fun, play type of setup, goof around.
It's more of a why not.
Exactly.
Although
Going to be the Fusion combo. Yeah, the Fusion combo I think is what people are most confused about. And like we've talked about a couple of times, I was probably a little over conservative with my description. Stating that certain 2-in-1 motors wouldn't work. But I think it's the Fusion Pro that people are concerned about. The Fusion SE I know fits because people have been running those. But I don't know if they're the same size or not. I'm trying to find on the Fusion on Hobbywing's site if they have the motor dimensions. 37 by 58 on the Quick Run Fusion Pro. Fusion SE. Tech specs. 36 by 58.1. What did I say the other one was?
Was it
37 by 58. They're basically the same, so they should both fit. But I'm probably gonna just go ahead and bite the bullet and order a Fusion Pro. To find out or just to verify. That way I can tell people that it does or not. Brett, we finally got nice weather coming. We had nice weather over the weekend other than the rain every day. 6x6 Leafs on the rear, 3-link CMS on the front. It'd be interesting.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Just have to be so specific anymore, it seems. People just don't dive in anymore. Yeah, and like I said before, I would rather be more cautious and have somebody not buy something than to buy it and it not fit. So it's hard. I want to sell everybody a chassis, but at the same time, if you can't do a little bit of something, it's kind of hard to cater to everybody, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
I think people probably expect that from our position, though.
Yeah, we've been
conservative.
Yeah.
With specs and sizing and what we say will work, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
But if you're a good builder, you'll probably make it happen.
Yeah. So where can I order a Fusion from that I will get it the soonest? That's the question. Back in my day, yeah. I dive into build. It's just when I'm done, I get made fun of for putting a VFD in an Oracle. Did it fit? If the VFD fit in the Oracle, that's kind of cool. Tower Hobbies.
Team chat.
Tower Hobbies. Let's see if they have it. Yeah, Tower is closest to me, but Hobby Wing, car and truck motors and ESCs. Ordered Fusion Pro from A-Main last night. Be here Wednesday. Nice. Well, hopefully I can get one before then, or by then also.
A-Main's pretty quick.
Yeah, but they're in California.
Pretty quick. For me, it's
yeah.
A little quicker.
There's the Fusion SE. Where's the Fusion Pro? Sorry, I'm searching the interwebs while I'm talking here. So there we go.
I haven't ordered an ESC or motor in a little bit. Is there still like the whole supply chain crash?
This seems to be in stock. Tower says it's in stock. 2300 kV. Spicy on 4S. That's going to be a spicy mama on 4S. I like it. I'm going after it. Add to cart.
100,000 RPM motor.
Yeah. I wonder if you're supposed to run that on 4S. Probably not, but. The question is, I don't believe that I remember my Tower Hobbies information.
Just go ahead and read that out loud.
Yeah.
Email password card.
Amazon for me was slower, not sold by Amazon. Yeah, it probably was just a drop shipper. Around 2,700 homes on 4S. Spicy. I agreed.
27. My local buddy Jonathan, he was running his 3,300 hard body, and he took some slow-mo videos of the thing doing some stupid stuff. Might make it on our Instagram feed or something. It's quite funny. I also took a video of this thing climbing up a tree. Wasn't vertical, but it was pretty substantial. We've had a lot of, with the freezes, we've had a lot of the big cedar trees just leaning over. So I found one that fit, that was thick enough for this thing to grab onto, and I kind of like I'll post it up on our like Instagram story or something. Nothing crazy, but it's kind of cool to see it going up a tree.
Post it up.
Been busy.
Anybody got any gift certificates or coupon codes for Tower Hobbies?
Yeah, where's those coupon codes?
Right.
Help us out.
PayPal checkout.
They're not sending us stuff for free yet, so.
Definitely not.
I forget who it was, but someone posted the servo wire with like heat shrink on the upper link, and that I was sold on that. It just looks so clean.
Yeah. Well, it's like I did that purple wire wrap, wire looming.
Oh,
mine.
the webbed lace stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like
$161. Good grief.
you're just racking up that bill this evening, dude.
Yeah. Got to get them right off somehow. Anyway, order placed. So that'll be here in the next couple days, and then I will put that in this new kit to verify fitment. Yeah, I found the Tower Hobbies codes on Tower. Thank you, though. I'll get all that test fit, verify operation, or verify fitment, then I can change the wording on the website to be a little less conservative. So, because I see it in the Facebook groups all the time, the SCX10 Pro owners or Pro Builds and Advice Facebook group, that anytime somebody suggests our chassis, because says brushless motors don't fit. It doesn't say that brushless motors don't fit. It says that some large 2-in-1s may not fit, but people read that as you can't run brushless motors. So I just may have to verify and change.
I like my brush motors.
Me too, and I don't have an issue with running brushed motors, but I comp with brushed motors, so I don't test fit everything with big brushless motors.
I make Jason upset. I run these custom motors he has made from homes, and I trail with them when supposedly they have like
A lifespan.
Yeah, a very short lifespan. They're good, but I won't let them sleep easy knowing I don't run water like I used to. So,
yeah, I trail run my Polar 400s. So when I go to Axial Fest, I'm gonna grab I've got a Holmes censored stubby brushless something or other over here somewhere.
Still got plenty
grab
of
it,
brush too.
grab it and measure that. If I can find my electronics bin.
Electronics bin.
Now that I clicked away from the Hobby Wing site and I need the damn dimensions again.
Toby commented about that Fusion Pro.
This Holmes motor is 36 millimeter by 53. So that's, I think, the same dimensions as what I said the other one was, didn't it?
It's 5 millimeters shorter.
The other ones are 67?
Oh, wait, what'd you say? I thought you said 53.
37 by 58. Oh, yeah, these are 53.
So that's 5 millimeters shorter.
Yeah. I don't know. I could pull the couple of motor mount bolts out of this real quick.
Do it. Take it apart. We're here.
Not hard.
To watch.
Not hard. Fusion Pro fits the pace setter, I used a 10-tooth pinion, didn't have to change the upper link screw, and the motor is touching the trans a bit, but the motor mount holes lined up and the screws went in. Perfect. That's a 10-tooth pinion, and it comes with a 13. I think it comes with a 13 tooth from the factory, so that would bring it even closer to the transmission, making it even more difficult to get in there. The Oracle would be the one that I'm more concerned about the motor fitting in, because the pace setter is actually longer between the skid and the motor mount, because the angle of the skid pushed the trans forward, and the drive shaft, the prop shaft for the forward motor mount, bottomed out. So I had to lengthen the chassis between the motor mount and the skid plate. So motors that fit in the pace setter may not fit in the Oracle. So I'm going to build the other one as an Oracle just to verify. Come out of there. Or don't. Come on, Timmy. Oh.
Where's your hand mirror when you need it?
Yeah, I just bent my driver. The forward motor mount, the spur gear nut hits the servo mount. There we go. Got her out of there. Do you need to run the supports between the forward motor mount and the transmission on the Oracle? No, you do not. You should. It can put the motor mount and transmission in a bind. It is not as much of an issue on an Oracle or on a pace setter as it is on the Oracle, but because I moved the motor mount locations on the pace setter, it makes those motor mount or makes those supports bind up the motor mount. So take those off and get rid of them. I think this is a 13 tooth pinion that it comes with. Or 14 tooth pinion. With the stock pinion, the Fusion Pro hits the chassis. Okay. If that's the case, it would also hit the chassis stock. So that wouldn't be an issue with only this chassis. It would be an issue with all of them. I just want to sit this in here. I don't really want to mount it. I just want to sit it in. Just to see. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, the motor mount placement is a little tricky on these. I knew it was going to be snug getting specific motors in there to begin with, and then people want to run these gigantic ass brushless motors for virtually no reason, because it's a comp truck, and most comp trucks don't run gigantic brushless motors. I prefer my little 400 size brush motors. They fit anywhere. Unfortunately, they cost the same as a Fusion Pro.
Just the motor, yeah.
Just the motor, and then you got to buy a speed control too.
I've been running this truck so much lately. I got the jelly bean out this weekend, and which reminds me, I need to get some wheels from you because I want to change that truck up a little bit with the wheel and tire combo. But I forgot just how fun that truck is and how good it looks doing what it does.
Mm-hmm.
This truck's cool. It kind of just like slithers and goes. The jelly bean, pretty similar setup, but like like how the shock hoops are so low, the hood on that truck is like up here. Like it's just a big
Mm-hmm.
body,
Yeah.
which isn't ideal. But I'm not gonna chop the body up just to, to get it how I like it,
Right.
unless there's some catastrophic issue with it, like I sit it on the floor and a box slides off my seat and smashes it. But
You just had to say it, didn't you?
until then, yeah. Anyway, that truck's a ton of fun.
Well, this
I need some wheels from you.
yeah, this Puller Pro stubby. Is this a stubby? I think it's a stubby. Puller Pro 3500 540 motor fits in the pace setter. So I'll wait till I get the Fusion Pro and I'll verify it, and then I'll change the wording on the site, and then I'll build the pace setter and I'll verify that it doesn't fit in the pace setter because I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to try to put it in there. So
Will it fit?
will it fit? Yeah. If it fits, it ships.
The age-old question.
That's my project for I'll probably not build the rest of that truck until, I don't know, I might do it Wednesday night. I'll do it during Harley and Skill Builders Guild's live stream, so I have something to keep my hands busy while I listen to them talk.
That's been my strategy as well. Actually, I think I was catching up on their feeds Saturday when I drew up these sliders.
What are you using for brush speed controllers? Holmes BR Minis and everything. Yeah, it hit the stock chassis also. 11-tooth pinion on the motor hit the link screw, even with the nut on the outside of the chassis. 10-tooth seemed to work the best. Toby, hit the link screw on the stock chassis or only on the pace setter? But yes, BR Minis and everything. BR Minis is the way to go for a brush speed control. It has enough of a BEC to run a receiver. If you're running non-direct power servos, you need to run an external BEC. But I run direct power servos on everything, so I just run the standard BEC, the standard internal BEC on the BR Mini stock chassis. Okay, so there are still clearance issues with the Fusion Pro on the stock chassis. So it's not just the aftermarket chassis that it's snug in. Because I never tried to fit a big brushless motor in the factory chassis either. So I think my headphones are dying early tonight.
Talk too much, dude.
I only got one ear now, so one of them must have died already. So if I lose the other one, sorry. Well, we got about 15 more minutes here. What else you guys want to talk about? Anything fun? I don't know if my headphones are going to make it another 15 minutes tonight. They've been going exactly 2 hours previously, but
Need those extended batteries. They just like screw in there.
I could just plug in, but good night. You climbing out early on us? Not a bad plan, to be honest.
Monday's been a heck of a day, man.
It has. I haven't missed wheels, have I? No, you haven't. I've been so busy with other things. I had that impatient customer last week with the bike that ended up getting totaled, and then I had what else? These pins and bushings for the grapples and excavator components. Had to get a bunch of those done. I was working on those this morning, and then the phone ringing off the hook this morning from all the decent weather we had the last few days has just absolutely killed my um, time frame with all that stuff. I have a bin full of blanks, or bin full of wheels here on the bench that are in progress. And then there's another bin full of wheels over by the mill that are in progress. And there's another bin over on the other bench that are in progress. But no, you haven't missed them on the site yet. They're just...
If he missed them, that definitely means I missed them.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've been making all these pins and bushings for excavator grapples and buckets and whatnot
Just like wheel
for this
weights.
company. Yeah, big wheel weights. And then those other Banshee components that have been kicking my ass too. So what do you think of the stock shocks on the SCX Pro? They're not my favorite shock. They need a much heavier oil than they come with, in my opinion. I typically run my shocks pretty slow to react. I don't have any of my comp trucks over here, so I can't really show you, but these shocks basically feel like they have no damping in them at all, where I prefer my shocks to be pretty slow. I can go grab one of my
This is kind of
other trucks.
You get a lot of preference on the shock oil.
Well, and like the deluxe shocks, even I run the axial 35 weight or 30 weight shock oil in my deluxe shocks. But so, like, here's fully extended, fully compressed. See how long that took to come out? Where if I these have the exact same oil in them. Take the SCX10 Pro, compress it, and release it.
It's like slow motion versus 60 frames
versus not. So it the shocks are not they're very fast, which I'm not a huge fan of. So maybe I will put a heavy oil. I don't mind the spring rate because I typically run a mostly compressed setup anyway, so that doesn't bother me. But the just the overall speed of the shock. Maybe the pistons have too big of holes in them or something along those lines, but it's just not my favorite shock. Using stock links, yes, they are the stock links on the Pro. Both the Pace Setter and the Oracle are 100% bolt-on chassis setups. So reuse all the factory links, reuse all the factory hardware. The only thing you do is take out the spacers between the transmission and the motor mount and get rid of those. I agree on the oil. Yeah, I think I will probably go buy some 50 to 75 weight oil. Run about 80 weight shock oil in most of my trucks. But the deluxe shocks, you don't have to. The pistons are different in the deluxe shocks, so you can run a 35 weight oil, and like I showed, these are 35 weight oil. So they're nice and slow. I like a slow shock because it makes the truck, like when you get into a spot where you think the truck's going to unload on you, if the shock is fast, the truck just unloads before you even have a chance to think or react to it. Where with a slow shock, you can see it start to react or start to go over, and it gives you some time to try to get out of that situation, be it go forward or go backwards. So I prefer it to be a little slower.
if you think your truck needs a sway bar, maybe you just need to thicken up the oil.
Yeah. What's shock oil? It's the thing that leaks out of most axial shocks.
Are those been the same story or no?
No, these are not leaking actually. One of them is. One of them is moist. It's not like dripping, but it's moist. 70 weight seemed to be good for me. 30 to 35 in deluxe shocks, except for my sporty car. It's a 20 weight. See, exactly. And your sporty probably weighs 4 pounds, so that's why you run a 20 weight instead of a 30 to 35. So we're right about the same thinking there. I run 80 in my deluxe shocks too, but I have some heavy trucks. So far, it's worked good for where I can run. 80 in a deluxe shock? That must be like molasses. Huh. Mine leaks out of all my shocks, so I just stopped putting it in. I would rebuild your shocks with green slime. Replace the O-rings and get yourself a bottle of Team Associated green slime. This bottle is almost empty, but there is going to be enough there to rebuild or to build these new SCX10 Pro shocks.
How long have you had that?
A long time. Very, very long time. Deluxe shocks are the standard. I agree. They are the standard. They should be the standard anyway. I run deluxe on everything. Ultra shorts on anything portal axle and regular shorts on anything straight axle. Shock tuning makes my brain hurt with this comp stuff. Trail trucks and I'm good. Shock tuning on comp trucks isn't that difficult when you break it down in things that you want the truck to do. Like if you just think to yourself, I need to tune my shocks, then it becomes a daunting task. But if you think to yourself, okay, my truck keeps hopping. Well, it could be link geometry, but it also could just be your spring rate's too stiff on your shocks and it just is bouncing on the spring, or your oil weight is too light. Or if, like I mentioned, if you're getting in a spot where your truck's off camber and it's just tossing off on you, then again, you may just need to run a heavier weight oil, or your springs are too stiff. So it's really, if you break it down into individual things that the truck does that you don't like, or things that you want it to do, it gets a little less daunting.
Solid advice.
Yeah. Might just get a new set of shocks for my C1 and C3 because it's Vanquish 80 millimeter C1 and 2660s and C3. I've got a set of Vanquish S80s, but they leaked really bad, so I didn't run them on anything. But I didn't build them, so maybe whoever built them just pinched the O-rings or sliced the O-rings, putting it together.
Consistently on all of them.
Well, yeah. So I use Nolene SF3, same thing as green slime, just a much larger container, 2 ounces. Nice. That is a good option. And that Nolene makes pretty good stuff, so I have some of that stuff. Not that specific oils, but I have Nolene stuff on the shelf over there. So, well, we got about 3 minutes here tonight left. Thanks everybody for stopping in again on another Monday evening edition of Let's Just Talk Shit.
Randomness, complete random.
Yeah, the most random talks we can have. My C2 has the nicest shocks
Hanging out with the
works big bores. Yep, just hanging out with the bros. So yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and get out of here a couple minutes or tonight. Got a short drive home, but it's been a long day.
It's been quite
back at it first thing tomorrow morning. I've been here since 7:30 this morning, and I'll be back here at 7:30 again tomorrow morning. So Nothing like a 12-hour day on a Monday. Working half days.
Making my head hurt already thinking about tomorrow.
Exactly. So, yeah. Thanks everybody for stopping in, and we will be back again next Monday. Thanks everybody.
Later.